Hi everyone, how you doing? You welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we'll be sewing this short bubu gown with built up neckline and ruched at the sides of the gown. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on notification bell so you get notified anytime we post new videos, and please don't forget to hit the like button. So guys, let's jump right into it. So to sew this bubu gown, first thing first, you'll be cutting out your back pattern first. To do this, the first thing you have to take is your measurement. You take from the backbone of your neck down to where you want your sleeve. Center of your back, that means that bone on your neck area, that's where you measure from down to where you want your sleeve. That's nip to sleeve. The nip to sleeve I'm working with is 17 inches. And you can see this blue line here is my startup line. After doing that, now I'll get the width of my neckline, which is 3 inches for the width, and the depth of my neckline will be 1 inches. So now connect this line together. So before you cut out, now you have to check what you have around your neckline here. You measure it round because we have to use this to cut out the front. Here I have 3.5. Now I'll cut this out. So after cutting out, now let's get the length of our gown. The length of the gown I'm working with is 38. So now for my shoulder here, I will mark down 38 inches. So this is 38 inches here. Then I'll add 2 inches for folding allowance. This is it. Now let's cut out the front. So now we'll draft the design we have at the front. Because there's a design at the front, you have to make your pattern paper to be on fold like mine. Now come down by 6 inches because the facing we are cutting has a short collar. So you come down by 6 inches. Now to connect this. So now this line I have here is my shoulder. Now the next we have to do is to get the width of the neckline. For my width of neckline, I'm working with 3 inches, the way we did for the back, 3 inches. After getting the width of your neckline, the next you have to do now is to bring that 3.5 we have on the back neckline. You bring it up here. This is 3.5 and you mark. Then you come here also and mark 3 inches. Now we'll rule this with a straight line. We are drafting the short collar. Now after doing this, now you come out by 1 inches. You coming out by 1 inches or 1.25. Okay, let's do 1.25. This will create a space for the collar to sit on your neck. So now I'll connect this. Now, the back neckline is not straight, it's curved. So you have to create something like this so it will give that space for your collar to sit. Here I have 1.25. Now you have to check the length. What we have here, we need 3.5. So you mark 3.5 here. Now this is the new neckline, not the straight line. This is the new neckline. Now the next we have to do now is to know how wide you want your collar. For my collar, I will make use of 2 inches. So here I'll mark 2 inches. 2 inches. So now connect like this. Now this is the width of my collar. After marking this line now, you connect this way. You can't just connect straight like this. This way your collar will not sit well. You make your ruler this way, a little bit slant. You can see how it is not straight like this. So after doing this now, we have to get the depth of the neckline. So for my depth, I want it to be 8.5 here. So now I'll just connect this line down to my 8.5 mark I have here. Then I'll come down by 2 inches here. So let's get this wideness first. 3 inches. 3 inches here. 3 inches. Yeah, this is it. We are almost done. Now the next we have to do is to add seam allowance on the collar here, you add seam allowance here, add half inches here for joining. Then up here also where your collar will sit, you add half inches also. So before we cut out, we check the length of the facing. You know, the facing is not just this straight down, no. We check the length of our facing. So I want the length of my facing to be 15 inches. Now mark with a straight line. Okay, let's make use of 16 inches. This 16 inches is too small. So here I will mark down 16 inches. Half inches for folding the hem and half inches for joining to the shoulder. So now make use of 16 inches here. Now we cut the neckline out first. Now you open up the facing like this. Now to get the design at the front, I'll come down for my shoulder. This line here is my shoulder. I'll come down for my shoulder by 8 inches. And now connect down this way. Now the next we have to do now is to determine the design we have. From this neckline here, I'll come out by 5 inches here. Then here also I will mark, let me do 4.5 inches. So now connect it down. After drawing this line, now we have to determine how wide you want this down to be. From the center front here, I will mark 7.5 inches and 7.5 inches here. Now connect down also. Now on this other side here, on the center of my facing, I will mark 3 inches. Then on the shoulder here, let me do it like this so you can see it. On my shoulder here, I will still maintain the 5.5 I use on the other side here, like this. So now connect it down like on a slant line. It's not a straight line. You can see how it is. So now cut this out. So I'm through the cutting of the facing. Now we have to check what we have. Sorry, on this other side is 5 inches, not 5.5. We mark 5 inches here. And let's check what we have here, 5 inches. So now connect it down to these 3 inches we have here. So now cut this out. You can see how it is now. It's equal at the sides. Now cut on the fabric. So now I've placed my back pattern on the front pattern. Now bring in the pattern paper. So now you bring out your back pattern this way and place this down. So now pin this down. I'm done with the pinning down. Now we'll just cut this out. Now you just place your ruler this way and you mark. You can see this is it. Now cut this out. So now I'm done with the cutting. Now we'll cut out the facing. For the facing, I made use of bridal satin. So now we'll cut this out. Now you bring your gown. The front of your facing will be facing the back of the gown because we are turning the facing to the front. So you sew at the back first. The front of the facing facing the back of the gown this way. Now we'll go and sew on half inches down. When we get here, we'll give it a bit of dash and continue sewing to this side of our gown. I'm through with the sewing of the facing, and I've gone ahead also to fold my facing on half inches all round. And this place that we have the style here, I give it a launch so it will be easier for me to fold it. Now I will launch the neckline and turn it to the front. I'm done with the launching. Our advice when you want to sew yours, you should use hair stay or paper stay on your facing. So now I'll turn it to the front. So you can see how it is now at the front. Now I'll go and sew this down. And I will be sewing close to this hand here. I'm through with the sewing of the facing. You can see how it is. I sew close to the edge and look how neatly finished it is. Now the next we have to do is to join the collar together like this. You make sure the fabric to fabric and lining to lining. So now I'll go and join this on half inches. I'm through with sewing the collar. You can see how I sew it. This is the front and this is the back of the collar. You join the both together on a straight line like this. This is how you join it, the facing to facing and the main fabric to fabric. After doing that, you turn it to the front this way. Bring in the back. So now for the center of your back, the first you do is to give it a launch, the center back. You open it up like this. Then you bring your front. So now you bring the front and you make sure the center back where you launch and this joining we have on our collar is together like this, and you pin down. So after pinning down, now when we go to the machine, you'll be sewing 1/2 inches. You can see here now the neckline of the back is as if is longer than the front hole, but don't worry, make sure the joining at the sleeves is equal. Then here we'll just give it a bit of launch and continue sewing it. Sew from the center of my collar first to this other side of my sleeve, then I will repeat the same thing on this other side. On this other side of the gown, when I get to this place, I will give it a launch. So I'm through with the sewing of the collar to the back. I would advise, maybe when you are cutting your back, when you want to make yours, you should use 3.5. You can see on the back we have like 1/2 inches here and 1/2 inches here because we use 3 inches. And you know, while drafting the front, we did some alteration we went back by 1.25. So I would advise, let's say cutting your back neckline, don't use 3 inches, use 3.5 inches. You can see how it is at the back, and this is it at the front. Now the next we have to do is to join this gown at the side. I'll come down from this 1/2 inches here by 9 inches. This is my sleeve opening. So from here now I'll just join my gown on the sides by 1 inches down to the hem of my gown. I'll do this for this side and I will repeat the same thing also on the other side of the gown. I'm through with the joining of the sides. Now the next we have to do is to fold the sleeve. Fold it this way on 1/2 inches and you fold it one more time. Fold it to this side and you repeat the same thing also on this other side. After doing that, now you fold the hem of your gown by 2 inches. I'm through with the folding of the sleeve and I've fold the hem also. Now you turn your gown to the front the way I did mine. On the hem of my gown here, I will come in by 3 inches. Then on the length here, you can see I came up also by 3 inches. This is to get the ruched effect we have at the side of the gown. So now you just connect this way down. I'll repeat the same thing also on this other side. And if you have a French curve, you can just make use of your French curve to get the curve we have here. Okay, now I'll cut this side, then I'll repeat the same thing also on the other side of my gown. After cutting this shape out, you have to, if you have a Volocca machine, you go and weave around this place. After weaving, you fold it in this way so you can create that effect to pass in your rope. But if you don't have an overlocker, you use the Ankara fabric to turn it. First thing you do is to fold the up and the down so it will be very neat. After doing that, now we go to the machine. You sew this on 0.25 round this shape we have here. I'm through with the sewing. I sew it from the front. Now you flip it to the back this way and you just fold it tiny like this. So now I'll go and sew this down. After sewing it down, we have to sew the strap that we'll use and pass in the ruched. So now we'll go and sew the strap. For the strap, I have 2 inches and the length is by 35. So I will sew this on the back this way. You fold to the back. After sewing it, we turn it to the front. I'm through with the creating of the casing and I've passed in my rope. You can see how beautiful this gown looks. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so you get notified anytime we post new videos. Thank you, and thank you very much for watching to the end. I really appreciate you all. I'll be seeing you on the next one. God bless you.